Stop what you are doing and go check your freezer.
Right now.
I am not trying to scare you, but we need to talk about what is happening in the frozen food aisle at Costco. For years, we have trusted the warehouse to give us bulk value and consistent quality. We walk in, we see the Kirkland signature logo, and we think, safe, delicious, worth it. But in 2024 and heading into 2025, that trust is being shattered. We are seeing a crisis of quality that I have never seen before. We are talking about massive nationwide recalls for listeria in popular frozen burritos. We are talking about foreign object contaminations, yes, plastic found in dumplings that millions of us feed our children. And even if the food isn't actively dangerous, something else is happening. It's the shrinkflation of flavor, the skimflation of ingredients. The items that used to be 10 out of 10 family favorites have quietly turned into inedible garbage. I've spent the last month scouring recall notices, reading thousands of angry customer reports, and unfortunately, tasting these disasters myself, so you don't have to. Today, I am ranking 7 popular Costco frozen foods from the absolute do not eat worst to the few remaining holy grail items that are still worth your hard-earned money. If you value your health and your wallet, you cannot afford to skip this list. We are starting at the bottom. Number 1. This isn't just bad food, this is a betrayal. I am talking about the Real Good Foods chicken pepper jack cheese burritos. Now, on paper, this sounds like the dream, right? High protein, low carb, gluten-free. It's marketed directly at those of us trying to eat healthier in the new year. You see Real Good on the box and you think, okay, a guilt-free comfort food. Let me tell you a story about my friend Sarah. She's a busy mom of 3, trying to cut carbs. She bought a box of these for quick lunches. She popped one in the microwave, expecting a nice, cheesy melt. What she got was a texture that I can only describe as wet cardboard wrapped around a salty sponge. The tortilla, isn't tortilla. It's a slice of processed chicken breast pounded thin to act like a tortilla. That might sound innovative, but in execution, it is a slimy, rubbery nightmare. When you heat it up, it weeps this clear, oily liquid that pools at the bottom of the plate. It doesn't taste like chicken, it tastes like salt and chemical preservatives. But the taste isn't even the biggest problem. The crisis here is safety. Real Good Foods has been plagued with issues. We are seeing recall notices flying around for listeria contamination in similar burrito products this past year. When you see a brand consistently hitting the recall lists for bacterial contamination or undeclared allergens, that is a giant red flag waving in your face. And the customer reviews? They are scathing. I saw one review that said, "I wouldn't feed this to my dog, and my dog eats grass." Another person found bone fragments, sharp bone shards inside the burrito filling. Imagine biting into a soft burrito and cracking a tooth. The verdict: do not buy these. If you have them in your freezer, check the lot codes against recent recalls, or, honestly, just throw them out. It is not worth the stomach ache or the dental bill. The solution: if you want a healthy frozen burrito, you are better off buying the Red's organic bean cheese burritos when they are in stock. They have real ingredients, a real tortilla, and they don't taste like a chemistry experiment. Or buy a rotisserie chicken, shred it, mix with some cheese and low-carb wraps, and freeze them yourself. It takes 20 minutes and saves you from this disaster. Coming in at number 2. This one hurts me personally. It breaks my heart because we all love the original version so much. It is the Costco food court frozen chicken bakes. You know the experience. You finish shopping, your cart is full, you're hungry, and you stop at the food court. You grab a chicken bake for $3.99. It's hot, it's crispy, it's oozing with Caesar dressing and melted cheese. It is iconic. So you see the box in the freezer aisle. You think, yes, I can have this magic at home whenever I want. Do not be fooled. This is the biggest catfish in the entire warehouse. The frozen version is a lie. First of all, let us talk about the size. The food court chicken bake is a heavy, substantial meal. The frozen one? It is shockingly small. It looks like a shriveled-up Hot Pocket that gave up on life. It's about 30% smaller than the fresh one, but the price per unit doesn't feel like a value. But the real crime is the texture. I tried making these 2 ways. First, the microwave. Big mistake. It came out as a soggy, gray tube. The dough was gummy, and the inside was watery. The Caesar dressing separates when you freeze and reheat it, so instead of creamy sauce, you get oil and curds. Then I tried the oven. I thought, okay, the oven fixes everything.
Wrong.
The outside got rock hard like, cut the roof of your mouth, hard while the inside remained lukewarm and mushy. And the flavor? It's completely different. The frozen version has green onions in it, which the food court one doesn't usually have, or at least, you don't notice them. In the frozen one, the onion flavor overpowers everything, masking the fact that there is barely any chicken inside. It is mostly bread and salty goo. There was a Reddit thread recently where a former food court employee spilled the beans. They confirmed that the frozen ones are made by a different manufacturer with a completely different recipe than the fresh ones made in the back of the store. They're selling you the name, not the product. The solution: if you crave a chicken bake, buy it at the food court fresh. Do not stock your freezer with these imposters. If you want a hot, handheld snack at home, you're honestly better off with the Sandwich Brothers chicken melts. They are simple, honest, and they don't pretend to be something they aren't. We are 2 down and it's getting ugly. But hang in there because we are going to get to the good stuff soon, including a pizza that actually rivals a restaurant. But before we move on to number 3, I have a question for you. Have you noticed the quality drop? Is there a specific item you used to love 5 years ago that just tastes wrong now? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and I want to know if I'm the only one noticing this flavor fade. And if you are finding this list helpful so far, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube that this information is valuable and helps me warn more people about these freezer disasters. If you're new here, subscribe and join the Smart Cart family. We don't waste money on bad food here. Number 3. This is a brand that used to be untouchable. A few years ago, everyone including me was raving about them. Bibigo steamed dumplings. Specifically, the tray-packed steamed ones. Bibigo is a massive Korean brand and usually they are excellent. But recently, something has gone wrong. In late 2024, there were reports and recalls regarding plastic contamination in Bibigo dumpling products. Yes, hard plastic pieces found inside the dumplings. This is every parent's nightmare. You give a plate of soft dumplings to your toddler, thinking it's safe, and suddenly they are choking on a piece of industrial plastic. Even if you ignore the recalls, which you shouldn't, the quality control has fallen off a cliff. I bought a pack recently to test, hoping the recall was just a fluke. The result? Disappointment. The wrapper, which used to be thin and delicate, was gummy and thick. It stuck to the roof of my mouth. But the filling was the worst part. It was mush. Just a homogeneous paste of meat and vegetable with zero texture. It was like eating baby food wrapped in dough. And the smell. When I microwaved the tray, there was a distinct, slightly chemical plastic smell. I don't know if it was the tray itself heating up or the ingredients, but it was not appetizing. I dug into the forums, and I am not alone. People are reporting sour tastes in the chicken and vegetable version, and many are saying the dumplings are arriving in the box already freezer burned and cracked, leading to a soggy mess when you steam them. The solution: if you want dumplings, Costco does have a savior. Look for the Bibigo Mandu beef vegetable dumplings, the big, flat, pan-fry ones in the bag, not the steam trays. The bag version seems to be produced in a different facility. They fry up crispy, the filling is chunky and fresh, and I haven't seen the same safety flags attached to them. But for the steam trays, walk right past them. It is not worth the risk. Number 4. This one is controversial. This is going to upset some people, but we have to be honest. Motor City Pizza Company. Double pepperoni, Detroit-style, deep dish. 3 years ago, this pizza was the king. It was a solid 10/10. It broke the internet. Everyone said it was better than delivery. The crust was fluffy and buttery, the cheese went all the way to the edge to create that crispy fricko crust, and it was loaded with toppings. But in late 2024, the king has fallen. This is the classic case of a small brand getting too big, too fast, and selling out to cut costs. I bought a 2-pack last week. I was so excited. I took it out of the box, and the first thing I noticed was the pepperoni. It used to be covered wall to wall in pepperoni. This time, it looked sparse. I literally counted 12 slices on one side. That is shrinkflation right before your eyes. But the taste test revealed the real tragedy. The sauce has changed. It used to be zesty, slightly sweet, and rich. Now it tastes metallic and acidic. It lacks that depth of flavor. And the crust, oh, The crust. It used to be like focaccia. Now it has a weird, dense, almost gummy layer right under the sauce that never quite cooks through, even when the bottom is burning. It's doughy in a bad way. There have also been complaints about the plastic trays they bake in. People are reporting that the trays are melting or smoking in the oven at the recommended temperature, filling their kitchens with the smell of burning plastic. That is not just annoying, that is a chemical hazard leaching into your food. Is it the worst pizza in the world?
No.
It's still better than a cheap cardboard pizza. But it is no longer the holy grail it once was. It's a gamble. You might get a good box, or you might get a gummy, metallic disappointment. The solution: if you are chasing that deep dish experience, unfortunately, you might have to look elsewhere or doctor it up significantly. But stay tuned, because number 2 on this list is the new Pizza King that you need to buy instead. Okay, shake off the negativity. We are out of the danger zone. We are now entering the safe harbor. These next 3 items are the reasons I keep renewing my membership. Number 5 is the Kirkland Signature Beef Lasagna. This is the boring, unsexy hero of the freezer aisle. It doesn't have flashy packaging. It's heavy. It takes an hour to bake. But my goodness, is it reliable? In a world where companies are removing meat to save money, this lasagna is still packed with beef. It's not meat sauce, that's mostly tomato paste, it is actual ground beef chunks seasoned with Italian sausage. The ricotta cheese is real creamy, not grainy. I served this to my in-laws last month. My mother-in-law is, let us just say, particular about Italian food. She took one bite and asked me for the recipe. I had to lie. I literally hid the Costco box in the recycling bin and told her it was an old family secret. The pasta sheets hold their texture, they don't turn to mush. The sauce is perfectly acidic to cut through the rich cheese. And the best part? It comes in a 2-pack for a price that is cheaper than buying the ingredients to make one lasagna from scratch. The warning: it takes a long time to cook. Do not try to microwave this, you will ruin it. You need to plan ahead. Put it in the oven for that full hour. Let the cheese bubble and brown. Let it rest for 15 minutes before cutting so it doesn't slide apart. This is the ultimate emergency dinner that doesn't taste like an emergency. It tastes like Sunday night at Grandma's. Number 6. We talked about the fall of Motor City. Now, let's talk about the rise of the new champion.
Tutta bella classic margherita pizza.
This is a relatively new addition to many warehouses, and it is a game changer. Tutta Bella is actually a respected restaurant chain here in the Pacific Northwest, and they have partnered with Costco to bring their product nationwide. This is not frozen pizza. This is imported Italian flour, hand-stretched dough, and high-quality ingredients that just happens to be frozen. When you bake this, something magical happens. The crust puffs up and gets these beautiful char marks, just like a wood-fired oven. It's chewy, airy, and crisp all at the same time. It doesn't have that biscuit texture that cheap frozen pizzas have. The sauce is simple tomatoes, salt, basil. It tastes fresh. And the cheese is real fresh mozzarella, not that dry, shredded plastic cheese blend. I know some people will say, but it's just cheese pizza. That is the beauty of it. It is the perfect canvas. I keep these in my freezer and treat them like a restaurant base. I add a little prosciutto, maybe some fresh arugula after it comes out of the oven, a drizzle of balsamic glaze. Suddenly, you have a $25 gourmet meal for about $7. If you can't find Tutta Bella, the Kirkland Signature Supreme Cauliflower Crust Pizza is a very close runner-up. I know, cauliflower, yuck. But trust me, you cannot taste the vegetable. It is crispy, thin, and loaded with toppings. But for pure, authentic pizza joy, Tutta Bella takes the crown. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. The number 1 item on our list, technically number 7 in the countdown, but number 1 in our hearts. The absolute best frozen food item at Costco right now is the Kirkland Signature Lightly Breaded Chicken Breast Chunks. You know them. You love them. The Just Bare dupes. The Chick-fil-A clones. There were some rumors circulating earlier this year about woody breast texture, that weird, rubbery crunch you sometimes get with cheap chicken. I was worried. I went out and bought 3 bags from 3 different Costcos to stress test this. I am happy to report, the king is still safe. Every single chunk I cooked was tender, juicy, and white meat. The breading is the star here. It is not a thick helmet of batter. It is a light, peppery, savory dusting that crisps up beautifully in the air fryer. Here is the secret to why these are the best. Versatility. You can eat them plain with dipping sauce by the Chick-fil-A sauce at the grocery store, and you literally cannot tell the difference. You can toss them in buffalo sauce for boneless wings. You can chop them up and put them on a salad for a healthy lunch.
You can put them in a wrap.
My kids, who are the pickiest eaters on the planet, will eat these every single night if I let them. And the value is unbeatable. A 4-pound bag for the price of one family meal at a fast food drive-thru. In an economy where everything is getting smaller and more expensive, this bag feels like a victory. It is consistent. It is high quality. It is delicious. This is the item that justifies the membership fee all by itself. So there you have it. The minefield that is the Costco frozen section. Avoid the soggy chicken bakes. Run away from the real good burritos. Be very careful with the dumplings. But stock up on that lasagna, that tutabella pizza, and fill your cart with the chicken chunks. Now, I have a favor to ask. I want to make a part 2 of this video. I want to review the desserts. The cakes, the ice creams, the frozen treats.
But I need to know what you want me to test.
Is the tiramisu worth the hype? Are the boba ice cream bars actually good? Leave a comment down below with the one dessert item you want me to review, and I will pick the top requests for the next video. And listen, if you found this helpful, share this video with your Costco shopping friends. Save them from buying that bad pizza. Save them from the soggy burritos. Be a hero. Thank you so much for watching and for trusting me with your grocery list. I'm Coco, this is Smart Cart, and I will see you in the next
Aisle.
Bye for now.